The selection of the civil engineer is one of the most important decisions and factors to be considered in the progress of every engineering project. The accomplishment of the project will be dependent on the civil engineer's ability, decisions, and judgment. In today's globally competent world, an efficient civil engineer should possess and hold with them virtues, ethical values, proper training, experiences, good education, and broad skill set. Everybody is different. No engineer is the same. They all have their own skills, capabilities, experiences, and traits. In every civil engineering project, you will encounter engineers who are known for being different and unique in their own ways. In a private sector, the initial step for a client in selecting the civil engineer for the project is to first define the scope of works. The client should be able to determine the performance requirements for the project. The factors being considered in the selection of the civil engineer are listed as follows. First is the reputation of the civil engineer as referred by the previous clients. The civil engineer should have an ethical reputation and should be competent. The client can ask the past guest or client the engineer has worked with for evaluation and assessment of his duties. Second is the validity of registration from the PRC. The civil engineer should have the proficiency, ability, and qualifications needed for the project. Third is the qualification and expertise in performing services. The client should select registered civil engineers and those who have their license. Fourth is the ability to assign a qualified staff on site to take charge of the project. The client should consider a civil engineer who is good at time management, a civil engineer who values time and finishes tasks within the allotted period of time. Fifth is the possession of financial and business resources to accomplish the assignment. The engineer should be financially able to support the project, should be able to provide, and should have enough business resources. On the other hand, a public sector offers civil engineers diverse roles with lots of benefits compared to private sectors. In a public sector, civil engineers go into different strands and have a wide range of different working environments. Some of the advantages of working in a public sector includes security on account by government backing, has a better pay with lesser hours, offers career development by encouraging to expand skills through attending seminars and trainings. In connection with the factors being considered in a private sector, listed below are those that are considered in the selection of a civil engineer in a public sector. First is technical training. The foundation of the civil engineering is thorough knowledge and understanding in both field and science. Proper training is essential in the enhancement of skills. Second is written and oral communication skills. The public sector encourages comprehensiveness, especially in government projects, because civil engineers will have to do more of the talking and negotiating. Third is leadership. Leadership is also a skill needed to work in a public sector. A civil engineer should know how to socialize with both clients and associates. A civil engineer should be the one to lead the organization, motivate, and help them find a good vision in doing a project. In addition, being organized is also considered in the selection of the civil engineer. Being a good leader that is organized is a good step towards a good project. Fourth is analytical thinking. This is considered as one of the most important criteria in the selection of a civil engineer as it is an analytical skill every civil engineer should possess. A civil engineer should know how to perceive problems and solutions in a broader light. A civil engineer should know how to anticipate possible problems intuitively and systematically. Lastly, decision making. In the selection of a civil engineer, they also need to consider decision making. A civil engineer should know how to make choices by identifying available information and assessing alternative solutions. A civil engineer should be confident with their decisions and should be able to provide the organization and his or her associates for an accurate and useful information in order to make decisions that are logical and effective.